evening. I am Sally Steele, and welcome to another episode of my Sally Steele Rock Show Halloween World. Tonight, we will be speaking to the dead with my interview with Chester Bennington of Linkin Park. I hope you enjoy our interview.
Hey Chester, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I met you briefly at your tattoo shop when you opened here. I was the annoying person standing in front of you taking pictures the whole time.
Awesome.
But I've been hoping to talk to you for a long time, and I finally got my chance here. We're real excited, and I want to talk about your new record a little bit. I've just got a few questions. Basically, you went from a six-piece band to a three-piece. Did you do that because you felt you could have more creative control? You weren't getting enough creative control in Linkin Park?
No. Actually, there's 6 people in Dead by Sunrise as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's
but there's just, I mean, Ryan, myself, Amir, we did the bulk of the work. You know, I mean, it really, you know, I wrote the songs, and those guys kind of helped me get the vibe and the flow of the record, you know. But yeah, I mean, there's 6 of us.
Oh, okay. Well, you know,
It could be my magic number.
Oh, okay. Well, let me rephrase the question. Do you feel like in Linkin Park you didn't quite get the as much creative control as you wanted?
No, I mean, this isn't really, I mean, I'm not like a control person. It's not about me trying to exert more power or have more say in what's going on. It really is about the fact that these songs, especially at the time, when we started working on this stuff, which was the summer of 2005, by the way, you know, they didn't quite fit into what I felt was the Linkin Park mold, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, now today, you know, it's almost 2010 now, so, you know, today it's different, you know, what that means for Linkin Park is totally different. You know, if I started writing these songs now, I probably, you know, Dead by Sunrise probably wouldn't exist. Mm-hmm. But at the time, you know, these songs were definitely out of the mold for what Linkin Park was doing, and so but they were still good songs. So I wanted to do something with them, and this was what ended up happening.
Well, we're glad you did. I love Crawl Back In, by the way. That's just an awesome song.
Thank you.
Now, do you think your Linkin Park fans will like the, you know, Dead by Sunrise? Do you think they will like it? I mean, is it how's the response been?
You know, I don't know. I mean, so far there's been pretty mixed. You know, there's a lot of people that are Linkin Park fans that like what we're doing. I've really gotten, you know, a lot of mostly positive responses from people, which has been nice. Mm-hmm. So, you know, the reality is I don't know who our fans are. I'm not sure if they're Linkin Park fans. You know, I'm sure that there's some Linkin Park fans and some Orgy fans who like what we're doing, and there's some who don't. Mm-hmm. But I think that, you know, we kind of are finding our own fan base a little bit, you know.
Mm-hmm. I see. You know, I had some questions to ask. You know, before you joined Linkin Park, I heard a rumor that like you were homeless. Is that true?
Well, I mean, technically no, I was not homeless. I've never been like a street person, you know. When I joined the band, I was living in Phoenix, so I owned 2 homes in Phoenix, and so when I came out to join the guys in Linkin Park, you know, I had 2 mortgages to pay, so I didn't really have a lot of money to be getting like an apartment in LA. So I lived in my car. So when I was in California, I'd be sleeping in my car, or sleeping on a couch, you know, at one of the guys' houses. And then and then I would go home occasionally.
Okay.
Like a real.
Well, thanks for clearing that rumor up. That's totally different than sleeping in a car, being homeless. You had two houses, so.
Right. I mean, they were just 500 miles away.
Okay.
So yeah, there's definitely a big difference, and but at the same time, walking around with $20 in your pocket that has to last you 2 weeks and sleeping in your car is it's not fun.
Tell me about it. I was there
You know what I mean?
in the 80s, yeah, sleeping in my car in Hollywood as a musician, I know.
It definitely, I think, knowing that I had a house 500 miles away that I never saw made it even harder,
Mm-hmm. And that was because you were joining Linkin Park and trying to work with them?
Well, yeah, I mean,
in the early days?
You don't want to put all of your eggs in one basket, It's not like, hey, I'm going to go move to LA to join this band, and, there's no record deal, there's no anything, so let's sell our houses and quit our jobs. So I had to think realistically, which was, this thing could work out, and it could be cool, or I could get there, and these guys could be total jerk-offs, and I could just end up turning around and coming home.
Well, we're glad it worked out for you. Was there anything else that you wanted to... I've got to thank you for dispelling the MySpace rumors that you were homeless and on drugs and in a car, sleeping in your car. So, okay, I'll close that one up.
I mean, I think a lot of people, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of rumors that go around, but I mean, really, I did battle drugs when I was younger, and I beat that, and I am also an alcoholic. But I was never like homeless on the street.
Past tense, you were an alcoholic.
No, you're always an alcoholic. Once you're a pickle, you can't go back to being a cucumber.
Oh, that's very commendable.
I wish I was an alcoholic, because then I wouldn't have to be one anymore.
Well, that's great that you come out straight with that. Everybody's in denial that I know.
Well, those are drunks.
Yeah,
there's a difference. Alcoholics are the guys usually working the program, and drunks are people who are actively drinking.
Yes, I know it well. I'm in the musician world. What would you have done? Did you have any other aspirations? I mean, when you started out, like, were you going to do anything besides being a singer in a rock band? Did you have any other career goals?
No, that's pretty much been my goal my entire life.
So that's what you've never had a job where you had to work for somebody and.
Oh, I've definitely had jobs. I've had jobs where I've had to work for somebody else and
like what?
Put a suit on or flip hamburgers or throw a leaf blower on your back and walk around and.
You really did that?
People's curbs.
You really did that, huh?
Yeah, I did all the things. I mean.
You'd be a good-looking leaf blower.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that.
If Linkin Park doesn't, or your bands don't work out, I will hire you to be my girl.
Blow leaves off of your lawn.
I will. I'll pay you to do anything.
I'll just oil up and do some push-ups in the front yard and then blow leaves off the curb.
Okay.
In slow motion with the wind machine.
Oh, that's it. Hey, there's some ideas for your next video. Here you go.
That's hideous. That's a hideous thing for me to put in people's
No, I'm talking about the push-ups without your shirt. I'm thinking.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I just another thing I wanted to ask you is now with the band, if say like you got double booked and you had to choose, which band would you go with?
Linkin Park.
Okay, all right, that's good answer.
Yeah, there's I don't want anybody to ever get confused. Linkin Park is it. You know what I mean? It's that's my baby. That's my pride and joy, and these are the guys that we've all had an amazing journey together. We have a great band together. We write awesome music together. So. It'll always be number one, but I do have a cool band, and I can go play other things and do other things, and so when I have time and when I have blocks of time where I can write and do something that's outside of Linkin Park, I will be making Dead by Sunrise records.
Well, that's great. I appreciate your time. One last question. what are you most proud of in your career that you've achieved so far?
I don't know. It's like I'm pretty proud of the whole thing. It's not. I don't know if there's one specific thing that I would say this is the most important moment. I think that I think I'm really proud of the fact that we keep an open mind and we keep pushing ourselves creatively to not repeat ourselves and not be a band that gets trapped in a time or in a genre that's specific to a certain time in music. So I think that's what I like about us. That's what's going to keep us interested and keep us working hard. Is making music that's challenging to us.
Well, you make rock and roll proud. We're very proud of you, especially your latest endeavor. And are you familiar with my magazine, Vegas Rocks magazine? Have you ever seen it?
I believe I have.
Okay, good. I have a request.
I know I've definitely seen it because you were waving copies of it in my face.
Okay, so you
tattoo.
Okay, so you remember, right? I was trying to get a copy. Thank you so much for your time today, Chester.
All right, take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in. Please join me next week as we speak to the master of ceremonies of them all, Zach Bagans of Ghost Adventures. Please subscribe to my ghostly channel, and we will see you on the other side. Oh, and happy Halloween!